Hey everybody, thanks for coming back and checking out the 80s Revolution for a quick DVD Blu-ray update. Actually, all Blu-ray pickups this week. It's been about a week since I've posted anything new, but we've got some things coming up this weekend that hopefully you guys will check out. But first, just dropped them all. But first, got me a stack of horror Blu-rays this week. Now, these all came from Target and Best Buy. I was watching a kind of like an out and about shopping video from a guy named Cool Duder, who I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with, and he mentioned that Target was having kind of like this Halloween sale with some $4 horror Blu-rays. So as soon as I saw that, I started hitting up a couple of my local Targets. I've got 3 or 4 in an immediate area of myself, and I went to 2 of them, and they didn't have a lot of the ones that I saw in his video, but I was able to get some. So these are all $4 at Target during their Halloween special, I guess, or Halloween sale. Something was going on at Target as far as their physical media. These $4 Blu-rays were in kind of like the entrance area, or when you go over near the registers. They had them in kind of like this little Halloween cardboard kiosk type thing. But when I went back to the actual electronics department, I don't know, the DVD section was shrinking a little bit. And it looked like they were either doing a floor set, like a floor move, repositioning or moving around some of the DVDs, or they were, I don't know, taking them away for some reason. But there were definitely some empty sections where movies would have been. Usually they were empty. So I don't know if Target's cutting back on their on their media or what, but things are looking a little sparse at Target, and I'm definitely noticing a lot less Blu-rays at Target than I ever have. Definitely, I'm not gonna say they're phasing out Blu-rays, but it looks like DVDs are still taking over Target, and it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of slim pickings for Blu-rays at my stores anyway. So, but enough of that. I was able to grab 3 $4 horror Blu-rays in recognition of Halloween at Target. First one I was able to get completes my Evil Dead collection. This is Evil Dead Part 2, Dead by Dawn. Obviously part of the goes without saying famous trilogy of Evil Dead movies: Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. So this completes my collection. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Seems to come with a good amount of special features, audio commentaries. Dead by Dawn, the filmmakers reflect on the long journey the sequel took to reach the silver screen. The Chosen Ones, interviews with actors Bruce Campbell, Sarah Berry, Danny Hicks, Ted Raimi, and others. Madman Sam, cast and crews reflect on working with legendary director Sam Raimi, and some other, maybe 6 other special features. So this should keep me busy for a while. Definitely will be checking this one out again anyways. One that I did pick up that I actually haven't seen yet was The Crazies. I thought this, for some reason, I didn't remember this preview when it came out. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but looks like 2010. I thought this was more of those sort of home invasion, purge type movies, which I can't stand. I don't really like torture horror. I don't like home invasion horror. I kind of like the old sort of throwback slasher monster ghost type movie. I really don't like humans breaking into another human's house and tormenting them. It's not my thing. But as I read this in the store, I realized it's not that at all. It's more along the lines of not a zombie flick, but more along the lines of an infected movie, where townsfolk are becoming impacted by this toxin and turning them crazy, turning them into depraved, bloodthirsty killers. Of course, there's a small group of people who are not impacted by this toxin, and they must fend off the crazies. So I'll be checking this one out real soon as well. Another one that I picked up for $4, which is just an upgrade from, these are all really just upgrades from DVDs, but 28 Days Later, one of my, I don't know, I never like to say top 10 or top 5 horror movies because it's always changing, but I would say like this is in one of my maybe 15 or 20 favorite movies. Just great zombie movie. Not zombie, infected. These are not the dead coming back to life. These are infected. I just love this movie, and I don't know, there's just something about it, whether it's cinematography, whether it's, atmosphere. There's definitely a killer soundtrack to this, killer score, that to me, and this might not get agreed upon by others, but to me, this score in this movie almost is equal to like the Halloween score when it comes to putting music into a particular scene to really magnify or boost that scene. And there's just some good instrumentals in this music, or in this movie. A lot of really classic scenes that when I see the scene, automatically I'm hearing that music as well. So obviously everybody's seen this, so I won't say check this one out. Pretty sure everybody has, but so now I'm looking for 28 Weeks Later to complete this little collection. Wouldn't mind seeing a third one. I don't know why. I don't know what stopped them. If they can make 19 Saw movies, I guess there's some room for another 28 Weeks Later or 28 Days Later sequel. So those three are from Target. $12 at Target. Very happy with that. I mean, we're talking pawn shop prices now, so I'm good with that. So now I went over to Best Buy. But first, also a part of this $4 collection was Scream #1, also for $4. So I grabbed that with this Target batch, and then that same day I went over to Best Buy, and Best Buy had the Scream 5-film collector's set, or the 5-film set, which includes Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, and a couple of, I guess, documentaries or retrospectives. Still Screaming, the Ultimate Scary Movie retrospective, and Scream, the Inside Story, both like 90 minutes of documentaries. So this was $9.99. So it was no brainer. I have a Target and a Best Buy right next to each other where I'm living, and I quickly walked right back over to Target and returned the $4 Scream because I was able to get 3 plus 2 documentaries for $9.99. Definitely happy with that. Nothing in here. I was looking at maybe doing like an unboxing for you, but there's nothing to unbox. It's all just the DVDs placed properly in their own individual tray, and the 2 documentaries are on 1 disc. So definitely glad to grab this one for $10. I'm actually not a huge fan of the Scream franchise. Granted, it's more in the slasher genre, but I never really, really loved this movie. Everybody, thinks Scream 1 is the best of the lot, and I would agree, but I still don't really love that movie either. I don't like horror comedies, and to me there was some comedy elements to Scream. I don't like Matthew Lillard at all. He doesn't do it for me. I just think he's sort of an overactor. He's not funny. He's one of those guys that tries really hard to be funny with his shtick and his voice and his facial expressions. Doesn't do it for me at all. I didn't really like the cast. I don't like Nev Campbell. I don't like Skeet Ulrich. Not a big fan of Screams, but if I can get them all in one set for $10, I will watch them. They will do what they're supposed to do for me, but I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise. But nonetheless, glad to have this 5-pack, I suppose. So then that was it for that day, I think. Yeah. That was a few days earlier this week, maybe Monday. And then today, I went back out to Best Buy again. I had actually gotten I got some free money. I got a mortgage escrow refund check in the mail, completely out of the blue. And when that happens, I'm going to spend it. So I didn't spend it all. I spent about $60, $67. But I think what I got for $67, I'm pretty happy with. Best Buy also has a little Halloween sale going on. Again, with cardboard kiosks in the center aisles. My Best Buy, and I think it's across the board, they have changed the way they are stocking their movies now. They are not separating them by genre other than TV and children, I think. But other than that, they're putting their movies A to Z. Whatever, I guess. I mean, it just takes me longer to go up and down the aisles because for me, I'm not really interested in a lot of new releases, so I'm headed over to the horror section, or I'm headed over to the $5.99 dump bin, or whatever like that. But now I've got to kind of go through the movies A to Z. Not sure why they did that. I don't know. I think most people like to look for their movies by genre, but that's just me. But they do have a little sale. A lot of $5.99, a lot of $6.99, a lot of horror titles. They brought in some older catalog titles that they didn't have last Tuesday. So I think this Tuesday they stocked up again on a few more movies that they didn't have when I was there last week. So I was able to get some. And again, this was all about $70. And I'll save my favorite for last, which I think I made a major score on. So what I picked up at the Best Buy sale was just Gremlins. Kind of a must-have for me, the 80s Revolution. Gremlins. We've got The Shining, again, just a DVD replacement, but what really can you say about this? It's one of the all-time greats. Very much looking forward to just laying back. This is like a 3-hour movie, 144 minutes. So 2 hours, 20 minutes, not 3 hours, sorry. But it's a longer movie. And so this is one of those like Sunday afternoon, lay on the couch, watch, take a nap, wake back up, pick up where you left off kind of movie. So I'm looking forward to that. I have Insidious 3, so now I have Insidious 1 and 2. A couple of my more favorite recent horror films, and by recent I mean maybe this decade. Definitely a big fan of the Insidious series. Like I said, I now complete it. Insidious 3, which I showed you guys in one of an earlier video, was one of the, when I started really trying to collect Blu-rays, got Insidious 3 for a few bucks at a pawn shop. Absolutely loved that movie. I love this entire series. To me, part 2 is the least of my favorites. Obviously, 1 was, just sort of an instant classic, and part 3 is really great. I really enjoyed part 3. Part 3 is kind of a prequel to the whole series. And where it leaves off, obviously, it sort of introduces part one. So where it goes from here, I don't think anywhere. If you know how Insidious 2 ended, then you know there probably isn't room for much else with this franchise. But I have now the complete set. Grabbed these for, I think, $5.99 each. So that's good. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, still looking for part 1. They have the remake at Best Buy, but I'm still looking for the original. Top 5, top 10 horror movies, not necessarily franchises. Not big fans of. I'm not a big fan of the sequels past 2. Sorry, back's tight. But you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2 are about as classic and revolutionary as it gets. So glad to have number 2. Cabin in the Woods. You know, when I first saw this, I didn't know what, obviously, you know, I hadn't read anything about it and I didn't know what to expect. And the twist in this, the ending in this, just totally blew me away. Totally inventive, revolutionary, a concept that hadn't been done before. The whole movie, prior to the end, was a concept that had been done before many, many, many times. It still did its part for me. I didn't mind it, but when you saw actually what this all meant and what was happening, and the ending was just intense. So this is always a fun watch. So to have it on Blu-ray, thrilled. $5.99. So now the very last thing I got very much makes me happy. One of my 2 favorite horror franchises, without question, would be Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. I was able to get Friday the 13th part 1 a few weeks ago, and it's the uncut, Best Buy uncut version. I don't think it's a Best Buy exclusive or anything. It was just at Best Buy. And it's Friday the 13th part 1 uncut, whatever that means. And I know that the Blu-ray box set, anyway, of Friday the 13th is skyrocketed in price for some crazy reason. So I'll have to pick those off individually. I do have Freddy vs. Jason, so I'll have to grab the other Friday the 13th individually. So on to Nightmare on Elm Street. There's a collection, a Blu-ray collection, and I've been watching it at Blu-ray. It's been, or at Best Buy. It's been $39.99 for the longest time. I decided to watch a few on eBay. They're going for around the same, $34.99 to $39.99. And when I was there today, kind of walking through, finishing my little batch, I had the batch that I had just showed you, and as I was just kind of walking down the last Blu-ray aisle, I saw the Nightmare on Elm Street collection still there, but this time it was $24.99, and so I had to have that. So I did pick up the Nightmare on Elm Street collection, all 7 original Nightmare films. I have Freddy vs. Jason, so I guess that kind of completes the set. I won't be getting the remake on any form of media. That's garbage. I did go see it in a drive-in and drove out before the movie ended. I just thought it was absolute garbage. Just a total insult and disservice to the franchise. Should be wiped out of everybody's memory forever and ever. So when I saw this and I saw that it was on sale, absolute must have, tons of featurettes on this, tons of extras, and good extras too. I mean, documentaries, The House That Freddy Built, The Legacy of New Line Horror, Never Sleep Again, The Making of Nightmare on Elm Street and Night Terrors, The Origins of Wes Craven's Nightmares. So much. Every single movie has a ton of extras. Man, there is so much here. great stuff, including 2 episodes of the Freddy's Nightmares TV series, which I have on an unofficial copy. It has not been released commercially. I have no idea why. There are no music issues with this TV show. They released Friday the 13th, which was airing around the same time. They were kind of advertised as back to back. No reason that I can think of that Freddy's Nightmares, the TV series, has not been released in a beautiful box set, but it hasn't. But I guess hope is still alive because 2 episodes are included in this lot. I was going to do an unboxing for you, but there's nothing to unbox. I was kind of hoping for some art cards or something like that, but that's not the case at all. We just have discs. Freddy's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1 is a standalone, and then 2 and 3 are on a disc, 4 and 5 are on a disc. Freddy's Dead and New Nightmare are on a disc, and then we have the bonus disc with many features, and just this thing will keep me busy for a long time. This franchise I can go back and watch monthly. Every Halloween I will watch all of these movies. If this movie is on TV and it's cut and chopped up all to bits, I will lay around and have this on in the background. I will never get old. Or this movie will never get old. This franchise will never get old. I will never get tired of this. I will never get tired of Friday the 13th. So I finally have my absolute all-time favorite franchise complete Blu-ray, $24.99 at Best Buy. If you need this, get yourself out to Best Buy. $25, you get the complete set. So that is my horror Blu-ray update for today, October 21st. Now, you will not be seeing this until Monday. It's Friday here. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing my first ever Saturday night's movie event, which you also won't see until Monday. But tomorrow night, if you're still here with me, check it out. Check it out Monday. I'm going to be selecting a horror Blu-ray that I have not seen. I'm thinking Reanimator, but I have a few others that I haven't seen. The Thing, Reanimator, and a couple of others. Might just watch The Shining again. I don't know. It's going to be down to The Thing, Reanimator, and now The Crazies I'll add. But I'm going to pick one of those. I'm going to, I'm going to bring you into my kitchen. So we'll leave the nerd cave. I'll bring you upstairs to the kitchen. We're going to make a Saturday night movie event snack / meal. I have decided what I'm going to make. It is purchased and locked in my brain. It's not gourmet by any means, but it's kind of a favorite throw together meal of mine. You'll probably be, some of you will be surprised by the choice that I make, but we'll be kind of cooking that together, plating it up together. We'll eat a little bit, and of course there will be some beautiful adult beverages to go along with my meal, and then we'll sit down. I'll watch the movie and then give you my thoughts on it, do a little review. So I'm going to do that tomorrow night, and you guys will have access to it on Monday. So hope you've enjoyed this content. Hope you've enjoyed the Blu-ray pickup update. Again, I'll tell you after every movie or every video of mine. Please leave a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know what you thought. Again, I'd like to be able to interact with folks. So leave a comment. Definitely thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Check me out on Monday. You will be able to see Saturday night movie event. Please come along and join me with that. So for the 80s revolution, I am wishing you all a good night, and I will see you next time. Take care.